Welcome to Grand Sumo Breakdown,
the unofficial sumo podcast
for official sumo fans.
Do you approve of the performance? Or
welcome to Grand Sumo Breakdown.
This is Blerick.
This is Jake.
This is Mac.
Welcome to Grand Sumo Breakdown. I refuse to acknowledge this opening, even though I'm pretty sure we're going to go with it.
No, it's canon now.
Yeah.
We got it.
This is Ryan, and this is our Nagoya preview episode. We are recording this on Wednesday, 3 days before the Basho starts. And so 1 day before the critical, we know who is in and who is out day, which is tomorrow, unfortunately. But you know what? It's 4th of July tomorrow, and then we got to pack for Japan the next day. Hey, boys, we're going to Japan.
We're going to Japan. Yeah, we will be in Japan from the 7th to the 19th, 20th?
20th.
If you are also in Japan, hit us up on Twitter or something. We are going to be attending sumo on day 8.
So that is the 14th in Nagoya. If you happen to be there and listening to this podcast, let us know. We'll see if we can try to meet you there somehow, or
We'll text you and then awkwardly pretend not to notice when we're there.
yeah, exactly.
Otherwise, just look for the screaming Americans just at some point in the stands, just blatantly yelling out all the different
We're
names.
probably going to yell out our podcast names 7 to 8 times per minute, so it's not going to be hard to find us.
No.
Yeah, they allow air horns, right?
I don't see why not.
Air horns, pro wrestling chants, the works. We're going to fit right in.
Vuvuzelas for all of you World Cup fans in South America.
That'd be
or
pretty good.
South Africa, I'm sorry.
Should we bring our actual trumpets, Ryan?
Ooh. That'll be my carry-on item.
No, I'm not oohing for that. No.
Ooh. I'll ooh for you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. This is going to be so much fun. I'm
It
so
is.
excited.
We're gonna be in Nagoya to see day 8, which is gonna be fantastic. We're gonna be there all day. We're not gonna be pansies. We're watching all of Jono Kuchi, all of Joe Nidon. We're there for the whole thing.
And we're going to be taking painkillers for our hips the entire second week that we're in Japan, obviously.
Oh,
Yes.
of course.
But yeah, very much looking forward to it. We will keep everybody updated. We're going to do our midway episode while we're in Japan. We're probably going to record 1 or 2 other things while we're there, just to kind of reflect upon our experiences there. So look out for those episodes. Can't promise that they'll be out while we're in Japan because we're going to try, but
Yeah, we're going to try. We got some mobile recording, editing equipment. I don't know if we can fit the whole truck into Dolphins Arena while we're recording or while we're visiting sumo, but we'll see what we can do. And
Podcast truck.
oh yeah, we got a lot of stuff.
Of course.
I mean, we got to load up the table and the computers and
Vacuum
Mac.
tubes.
Yeah. And the mini fridge full of beer.
Not the computer. Not the computer. The Mac.
The
Yes.
Mac, yeah.
I am my own entity, required for all sumo recordings.
Oh, my goodness. Anyways, sumo.
Right. Oh, and sorry, last thing. Our normally total graveyard of a Instagram account will probably be pretty active while we're over there. While we actually have stuff to take pictures of.
We will have
Yes.
plenty of pictures. We might try to take a couple of videos for YouTube. Who knows what will happen? Keep an eye on all of those things. And
The Adventures of GSB. It's going to be great.
or pretty boring.
Yeah.
Or pretty boring. Yeah, you know.
Like and follow things and whatever you do on social media, it's what sustains us.
I'm pretty sure you're supposed to smash those buttons.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
God, shut up.
As Flerick said, back to the sumo.
Ooh, that was a great transition, Ryan.
Thank you, Flerick.
Seamless.
As always with our preview editions, we're going to try to put an emphasis on the vocabulary. We're probably going to forget to halfway through the episode, but we're going to try to emphasize vocabulary for anybody who's listening to us for the very first time. And we're going to skip over all the information about the Bansuke that was released. We did a whole episode about it, so if you want to know anything about the Bansuke, go back and listen to that episode that we released about a week ago.
Do your dang homework.
Exactly.
Flerick, have you done your homework?
What?
That's what I thought.
So, as per tradition, we will send it over to our field correspondent B to give us a recap of what happened in the Natsuba show.
Hey guys, B here. So maybe it's just me. Maybe I've got product fatigue. I don't know. But this pay-per-view sucked. It's obvious they're shooting for a hard reboot with this new era branding, but I'm not a fan of the direction they're going with this. Let's get this out of the way first. They need to get their agenting situation fixed like yesterday. I get that Taka no Hana getting future endeavored probably threw the back into chaos for a bit, but Taka Keisho's new agent needs to get his stuff figured out. Working hurt is one thing, but when you've got a young guy having to drop out and come back in twice because no one in the back is talking to each other, that's a production problem, not a talent problem. But let's get to the heart of the issue, shall we? It's a new era. Fresh start, right? Look, there's a lot of good things you can take from booking and Western promotions. Incompetent heel authority figures is not one of them. I get they have the long-running YDC Hakuho storyline, but this is different. We've got the judges throwing matches to guys like Okinaomi despite clear losses. We've got that whole Day 10 Nishikigi lost, so Nishikigi wins promo that died a death. And let's talk main event. Asanoyama's getting the push this time, and they taint his win with that weird reverse dusty finish thing they tried. Asanoyama's babyface, why are the heels helping him? And don't even get me started on how they bungled that Tochinoshin storyline. They delay his 10th win for days, screw him in the Asanoyama match, get massive heat, finally prep the 5-star Kakadyu match, and what do? A Henka heel turn? Are you kidding me? This is Stone Cold 2001 levels of incompetent. You just buried your most over foreign babyface for what? A swerve? Did Russo figure out how to text in hiragana? Is David Arquette winning the U-Show in September? What's the kanji for two-man power trip? Because that's what I expect to be on Tochi and Goeido's kimonos in Nagoya. Also, I know he did the biggest buy rate in history, but what kind of money do they have that they're throwing it around to get Trump appearances? What's next? Cyndi Lauper and Drew Carey? Sorry for the rant, guys. Hopefully Creative gets it together soon. Otherwise, I'm expecting a takoyaki on a pole match by the end of the year. I'll see you in July.
Thank you, B. Whatever.
We've still got a lot of work to do with our field correspondent, but part of the reason that we're going to Japan is we need to straighten this guy out, and we think he's going to the wrong shows.
Yeah, we'll get a face-to-face with him, get it straightened out. We'll promise it'll be fixed by the time Aki rolls around.
We'll probably want to collect the credit cards that we lent him, too.
I mean, I didn't send him a credit card.
Yeah, Flarek, what happened to those credit cards?
What? I just checked your wallet. And sent
If anybody would be interested in a podcast treasurer position, we are interested.
Yeah.
Let's get to sumo for real, though.
Okay.
So, last Basho, we did not have the top guy, the kahuna, the big kahuna, the hakuho.
El Jefe.
El Jefe.
El Jefe.
Yes.
The Godfather.
The boss.
The big hawk.
The Lord of the Rings.
Flarek. We might need to censor that.
That was good.
No. It's what I've heard him go by that.
The Hawk.
Sure.
Whatever.
What about him?
Yeah.
He will probably be participating in this basho. He intends to participate per his oyakata, or his coach, Miyagino.
Ooh, good vocab emphasis.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Recently in training, he has faced off against Sekitori and has mostly won those matches, and he's been using multiple techniques like Oshi and Yori Kiri techniques. As we all know, he was injured at the end of the Haru Basho in the last match against Kakuryu on day 15. He tore a muscle in his bicep area. Elected not to get surgery on that, just kind of let it heal on its own. So far, it seems so good for him, but we really won't know for sure until he's on the dohyo facing... Mm-hmm. I mean, he's been going up against Sekitori in training, but that's
Sekitori
training.
being the top guys in sumo.
The guys that are getting paid in sumo.
Yeah. The top 50 to 60 or so.
Yeah. If he doesn't win the last 3 bashos of the year, we can tell something's maybe not healed up on that bicep.
Well...
An interesting bar to clear there.
I know.
Let's put it at this basho because some other injury is going to creep its way into Aki. At this point, he's an every other basho kind of guy.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
But what are your guys' expectations of Hakuho, and do you think he should even compete in this basho?
I think if he's healthy, he should definitely compete. And if he's competing, I think he's the favorite to win.
It's kind of boring, but I totally think that's the case. Anytime Hakuho is participating, he's the favorite. And it's just down to health with him. His technique is second to no one. So we don't we haven't seen him try and come back from this injury yet. We haven't seen him wrestle even one match since that happened. At full speed with high stakes and everything like that, the kind of match that you're going to get in a tournament. It's really hard to put any stock into training news and stuff like that, because we've heard so many times somebody's looking good in training and then they're really not healthy, or vice versa.
See, I think that's my hesitation with saying, yes, he's going to be competing for sure. I know he wants to. He wanted to compete in the last Basho because it was the start of the new era. So I know that would really bothered him, but I think he made the wise decision to stay out, heal up. And in this case, whether or not he's totally healed, only he and his Oyakata can say. But I think we'll know in the first couple days. If he stays in, he doesn't look good, then he'll probably just say, nope, I'm out. Need a little more time to heal.
Yeah, speaking of training news, I know that there was some regarding Asanoyama, the usual winner of before. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you have that, Ryan, but I believe what pretty much happened was Asanoyama was invited to train with Hakuho at his Heya with the people from his stable. And they had a match of, I think, about 11 or so matches. Yep. And it ended with Hakuho actually concussing Asanoyama.
Yes.
With a nice harite or slap to the face.
Yes. And not like a outside of a sumo wrestling match slap to the face. It was during a practice bout. So it's not like Hakuho got upset with Asanoyama, slapped him and concussed him. It was during a regular bout. There's no like disciplinary things that need to come up. Yeah, this is not a scandal. I mean, maybe you could say why is Hakuho throwing such vicious slaps during training against this guy? But there's no scandal that's going to be coming from this. No. Luckily. Yeah. But it is very interesting.
Yeah. The reason I wanted to bring this up was they did 11 matches against each other, but apparently Asanoyama won the first match against him.
Yes.
And then the source I was reading was kind of a little vague, but I think he also won the 10th match too, Asanoyama.
That's what I heard, yes.
Yeah. So,
and then the 11th match
is when Hakuho came in with like the slap to the face and like the throw. So I think Asanoyama, he can definitely compete with Hakuho. And like he got a little pissed off, it sounds like a little bit, and he kind of went like full force against him.
Are you trying to tell me that Hakuho is a competitive person?
Yes, is exactly what I'm trying to say.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, so I definitely he got fired up is one thing. I think he got fired up and kind of went full blast against Asanoyama. And the fact that Asanoyama won the first match against him, I think is very promising that you can't count him out against Hakuho.
Or is it implying that Hakuho's health is worse than he's letting on?
That's what I was thinking. I think he partially concussed Asanoyama because he's like, oh, crap, this guy can actually challenge me. Nope, better fix that.
I mean, Asanoyama did win the U-Show last time, but that was like a massive outlier compared to the rest of his career so far. He showed promise, but he hasn't showed like that level of promise, except for in the last Basho.
I don't think Hakuho like intentionally concussed Asanoyama in any way. I think he went for a hard slap, obviously. But I don't think he like, oh, this guy is a threat to me. Let's concuss him right before the Basho or anything.
I know that's how that came out. But no, like, okay, let's see if you can actually take my full force.
Gotcha. No, yeah, I think it's exactly Hakuho's competitive and say, hey, this guy is, I need to try harder. Like, I need to pull further into my bag of tricks and see how it kind of does against them.
I also think Hakuho is trying to show Asanoyama how far he needs to go to reach his goals of being Yokozuna, because obviously Hakuho is at the top of the mountain, and he's just mostly tossing around the guy. I mean, Hakuho went 9-2 against the guy who just won the U-Show. He's trying to show, hey, you might have won this U-Show. You're nothing compared to me. If you want to come and take my throne, you're going to have to earn it, and you're going to have to do a lot better than you've been doing.
Mm-hmm. Now you have to do that on top of being concussed.
Yeah.
I think Jake brought up a good point of like whether or not it's like telling whether or not Hakuho's injury has been fully recovered. Because we know like before, Hakuho used to be known for a kind of a kachiage, which I think is kind of like an elbow.
Forearm shiver.
Yeah, forearm shiver during a tachiai, and also slapping to the face. And one of the reasons he said he does that is because it kind of is lower impact on his body. Like rather than like running headfirst into someone, it's kind of a more sustainable way to do a tachiai. And so he kind of, I think maybe he's resorting back to maybe the slap to the face during the tachiai when he's injured.
That could be. It could take some of the stress off that injured upper arm. And in contrast, if you have the opportunity to watch some tape, check out how Hakuho uses his arms for that kind of tachi to absorb the impact there, compared to somebody like Takayasu, who just throws all of his body into the charge and has had injury issues, probably because of that.
To be fair, Hakuho's had plenty of injury issues recently.
Yeah. That's an interesting point, Flair, that I hadn't thought of that before, but that makes total sense. And Takayasu is the biggest example I can think of, somebody who's the exact opposite.
Yeah, I think that'll be interesting to watch out for Hakuho, whether he resorts to those kind of tachi-eyes again, now that maybe he's not 100%.
Yeah, I think an interesting thing about the Hakuho versus Asanoyama training, it wasn't like Asanoyama's stable was visiting Hakuho's stable. It was Asanoyama was visiting Hakuho. Like, Asanoyama went by himself. He didn't have anybody else from his stable with him. He went by himself.
He didn't even bring a Tsukebito.
Correct.
Which is
manservant.
Yes,
manservant.
No, it's a lower ranked Rikshi that assists the higher ranked Rikshis.
Yeah, and usually
Apprentice might be a better word.
There you go.
Yeah.
So the manservant was normally
his butler.
Normally the one kind of giving water on the sideline. So I just want to bring that.
Yeah.
Was this at Hakuho's invitation?
I believe Asanoyama was the one who kind of initiated wanting to do the training.
Oh, so
I
he didn't
believe-
invite himself over, is what you're saying.
That's awesome.
Well, I think he kind of mentioned that he wanted to do this, and Hakuho was all for it. Because Hakuho, after Takakeisho won his Yusho after Kyushu, Hakuho and Takakeisho had a few matches against each other in training before the next Basho, and Hakuho put plenty of dirt on Takakeisho there as well. So I think
maybe that's just a part of his competitive spirit, is that he wants to test himself against who the current best is.
Size him up.
Yeah.
So I think we all believe Hakuho is going to participate, whether or not we agree that that's necessarily the right move at this time. It definitely sounds like, based on training, he's ready to step in and do some matches.
At least start the Basho?
Yeah. So what do you guys think? Over under a full week. Will we see Hakuho compete live day 8 in Nagoya?
I would guess no at this point. I think that the description of the injury and the fact that there was no news last time of him attempting to participate. He was pretty much out from the get-go, right?
I think last time was when he had like guys charging him and like he was taking full tachi-eyes but not really doing matches, and
Sure.
it sounded like he really wanted to in the couple of days leading up to the Basho, but then it just didn't quite get over the hump. So I think he was close last time and wanted to, but this time he's doing full training against Sekitori and has been doing well in those matches.
That sways me a little bit, but my gut is still telling me no, and that's because of Yokozuna have that luxury that they can pull out without worrying about their rank, and just the memory of Kisano Sato's years of injury before his retirement is still too fresh in my mind to, really trust Yokozuna, who might be injured.
Yeah, that's completely fair. I think even part of this is with my heart, too, because I definitely want him to be there on day 8 so I can see some Dohyo Iris. But I feel like the fact that he's training the week before, like real matches, he's intending to enter, and he's probably going to enter. Whether or not he stays, obviously whether he stays to day 8 is how he does in the matches, and that's kind of very hard, pretty much impossible to predict. But I'm going to be hopeful that he sticks around.
I agree with you, Flair. I think we're going to have to wait and see just how he performs in those first couple of days, whether or not he sticks with it, whether or not he resorts to his old tachi-eye styles, where he starts doing the slaps more, starts getting back to the way the old Shimpan were like, stop doing that. That was bad. Because remember, they were penalizing him for all of his slaps over and over and over.
They were like
not penalizing him, but
reprimanding.
Reprimanding. Good call. But if it goes back to that, then I think he'll pull out. But if he's showing promise again, so again with my heart, I'm hopeful that he's going to be there because I want to see him do it.
Yeah, not biased at all, right?
No, not whatsoever.
Hakuho versus Shodai, day 8, book it.
So you're all for it.
That's confidence. Right
to
there.
be
All right.
to be
Hakuho-
young and naive.
Hakuho,
You poor fools with your optimism.
well,
Yeah, that's a good point.
we'll get to see if we think Hakuho is going to win this thing in our prediction series. So let's move on to another guy who is iffy on entering this one. Probably closer to entering than I feel like he probably should be, and that's Ozeki Takakeisho beginning his second basho as an Ozeki. He really hasn't done a whole lot of training. He just started facing off against lower-ranked Rikishi in his stable just yesterday, I believe, was like the first actual training sumo matches he's had in this training cycle for Nagoya. He steamrolled them, obviously, because he's an Ozeki, and they were like Sandanme and below. And Sandanme is the third highest rank of sumo, and then there's
fourth highest division.
That's right, because Makushita's in there.
But yeah, effectively though, it's like other apprentices, other young guys.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think he had 7 matches yesterday. He won them all. Takakeisho says he feels in near perfect condition. His Oyakata isn't as positive about his outlooks. His Oyakata, Chigano Ura, says that he needs to face Sekitori in training, and the decision will be made tomorrow. So it sounds like if it's up to Takakeisho's in there, because Takakeisho says, I feel fine. I know there was a quote where Takakeisho said, there's a lot of Rikishi, don't stay in good shape, and they, have a drop-off in their, training, in their... Well, just like their, I can't think of the right word right now, but how their body feels, and if their body is in shape. Like, if they're injured, they fall out of shape. I don't...
yeah. You go... if you're not doing sumo because you're resting.
Yeah.
Obviously you're not...
They're not in
sumo.
fighting shape.
Yeah.
But Takakeisho says, no, I'm still in fighting shape. I haven't lost anything.
I do know...
Despite not training, so I don't know how he could say that he's beaten the system when everybody else hasn't.
I do know, I got some notes. He was working with a team consisting of a personal trainer, a knee specialist, and a doctor, and is taking advice for, what kind of exercises he can do. Obviously he can't do hundreds of Shiko in matches.
Yeah,
but
because it was a knee injury that he had.
Exactly. I think his right knee, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, whatever. So, and they were kind of saying you can do maybe 20 Shiko a day or 20. So it sounds like he's working really hard to find out what he can do to kind of stay in shape. And I think that's probably what he's referring to. Mm-hmm. He wasn't just sit on the couch the whole time. He was doing some physical therapy trying to actually stay in shape.
Yeah. So pretty much the same question as Hakuho. Is Takakeisho going to compete? And if he does, how long do we think he's going to last?
I don't want to start this one.
See, I don't think he has a choice. I think he has to compete. Otherwise, he loses his Ozeki rank. And remember how hard it is just to get back to this level. Tochinoshin pulled off the next to impossible task of reclaiming his Ozeki status with 10 wins in the last basho.
Only the fifth Rikishi to ever do it.
Exactly. And now, are we expecting Takakeisho to do that? Pretty tall order. So I think he doesn't have a choice. He has to perform.
One thing for Takakeisho is that he is still a baby.
22 years old.
Baby.
He is still the wee baby Takakeisho. And if he does lose Ozeki by not competing or by competing poorly this time around, I personally think that if he sat out right now and made sure that knee was 100% before coming back, I would still pick him to be Ozeki again sometime. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of pressure on him, and the fact that in last tournament he tried to come back midway tells a lot about how willing he is to take risks. Mm-hmm. And I think because of that, he's probably at least going to start.
But it could be up to his Oyakata again saying, no, you are not performing, which is what happened in the last basho, because Takakeisho wanted to keep going, but his Oyakata put a stop to that.
Yeah, I think it was his Oyakata was okay with him returning the first time. So, okay,
because he trusted.
Because Takakeisho is originally part of the Takanohana stable.
Yeah, he's been with his current Oyakata for less than a year.
Exactly. Yeah. So he recently, this is a very recent Oyakata Deshi relationship. Mm-hmm. So he said, I trust you. I guess let's see how this goes. And then after he did not win that match, and I think it did not look all that great.
Yeah, he lost one match and then pulled out of the basho again.
Exactly. I think that really kind of that made his Oyakata, his coach, really angry.
Yes,
and
it did.
I don't think he is going to be willing to trust him as much. I think he's going to want to see some matches against Sekitori, see him doing well, and then if he can pass that test, he'll probably go.
Yeah, my personal opinion is the Oyakata is going to hold him out of this tournament, and then he's going to come into Aki fully trained and in shape for a basho, and he's going to get the 10 wins he needs to get his Ozeki back. So I don't see Takakeisho competing in this one, unfortunately, because he's one of our favorites. We love to see him compete, but I think his Oyakata is going to win this battle.
Yeah, I'm going to go as far as I hope I don't see him in this basho, just for the precedence of I'm taking care of your health.
Yeah, it hurts to say because that would guarantee he's no longer Ozeki, but it probably in the long run is the right thing for him. Do have a stat that Flaric's going to try to dispute in a moment.
Oh, yeah.
But as far as I can tell, Takakeisho would be the second Rikishi ever after Musoyama in 2000 was demoted after only 2 basho as Ozeki. And I'm only counting their first 2 basho as Ozeki, and I'm not counting any of those 1700 stats because those are bullcrap.
Yeah, but you see these down here, right?
So Takanonami and Tochi Azuma, those times where they were Ozeki for only 2 basho, they were already Ozeki prior to that 2 Ozeki.
Oh, so they lost it.
So you're putting asterisks to this. Okay.
Yeah, so what I'm saying that Musoyama is the only Rikishi up to this point that was demoted from being Ozeki back down to Sekiwake after his first 2 basho as Ozeki.
Okay.
So that's what I'm
might be
saying.
fair.
So Takakeisho would be the second only Rikishi ever to have a 2 basho stint as Ozeki to start his Ozeki career.
We should go back and count the days just to see if, depending on which tournaments, one of those 2 might be a day or 2 shorter than the other.
But yeah, so that would be a very unfortunate distinction that Takakeisho could earn here. But, I mean, injury's a son of a bitch.
Yeah. I think barring no further injury, he's definitely going to get back up. He might have the asterisk saying he's one of the guys who did this, but I think his career is going to shine otherwise.
Oh yeah, Jake said wee baby in terms of years of competitiveness and years ahead of him. No, if he loses it, then it will not be the last we see of Takakeisho.
He's in the top 6 in the world, and he's still one of the youngest guys in the entire division. I think he's got enough promise that I think we would all pick him to still succeed, even if he loses Ozeki this time.
And Takakeisho need only look to the guy ranked just below him on the Bansuke, Tochinoshin, for how to come back from being demoted from Ozeki to be promoted right away.
Yeah, Tochinoshin.
Holy crap. That was a great tournament. I love that so much.
Yep, Tochinoshin was Ozeki in Haru, and that was his second straight basho with a losing record as Ozeki, which means you get promoted to the Sekiwake.
Demoted.
That's what I said. Demoted to the Sekiwake rank. But as a former Ozeki, you have one single chance. If you get 10 wins or more in the next basho, you get your Ozeki promotion back, and that's exactly what Tochinoshin did. So he is Ozeki again, and snake bitten once again as Flaric brings us news that, Flaric brings us news via somebody else. Flaric's not breaking this news.
Yeah. I definitely
Flaric,
just pass on.
this is all your fault.
I definitely just pass on information to people who do actual reporting.
Yes.
But no, there's talk that he unfortunately had the shoulder injury in practice.
Are you kidding?
Yeah. So I don't know the severity of it. It's just apparently something bad happened in practice. So it's possible he might not be 100%.
Yeah, he did have a few training matches the day after that it happened against Aoyama and Tochiozan. Don't know how he did in those, but he did do matches against fellow Makuuchi wrestlers. He said that he's going to be taking painkillers and will be careful, whatever that means.
I would be willing to bet he was probably taking some painkillers anyways.
Yeah, no kidding.
More Hankas. We're going to see more Hankas.
What these guys put their bodies through, I bet they're constantly. I bet their medicine cabinet is a closet.
There's just a bowl of ibuprofen.
Here, take a handful. Welcome in.
Mints at the entrance to the
Exactly,
yeah.
So with that in mind, what are you guys expecting from Tochinoshin in this basho? We know that he hasn't had great luck as an Ozeki, as injuries have kind of ruined any chance he's had to be a solid Ozeki. But what are you guys expecting coming into this basho?
Can we open this up to all of the Ozeki? Because it's I guess there's 4 Ozeki in this basho, and definitely I don't think all 4 of them can kind of do well, right?
I mean, they can. I don't think
Goeido.
Takayasu.
No. I'm just saying Goeido usually sucks. Takayasu, disappointing, I think, is the right word with Takayasu. Hopeful and then disappointing. So, is there really an Ozeki you can root for?
I mean, people will root for Takayasu. There's a lot of Takayasu fans
I love
hoping.
Takayasu. What's wrong with you guys?
Yeah, people.
Yeah, just
Weirdo.
not doing it though.
You're right. I only like people who win Yushos every single basho.
Yeah, that's the Ryan method.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Hokuto Fuji's my number one guy.
You mean 0-time Yusho winner Hokuto Fuji?
Exactly. I'm a Vikings fan. I am not a front runner.
That's a fair point.
Yeah. I guess to kind of I'm trying to wonder why I tried to bring up all the Ozoki, but to I guess answer the Tochinoshin, like with that news of injury, and it sounded like he spent like a little time in Georgia, just kind of like partying it up for like 2
The
weeks.
country, not the state.
Yeah,
He's
Very
from
important.
Georgia.
Yes,
Georgia, the country.
He's the gorgeous Georgian.
So I imagine probably just 8 and 7 or so. Any better would be gravy for him.
Any better? He doesn't need any better, really. So
Yeah, he doesn't. I think that's probably what he's going for.
yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, Tochinoshin's one of those guys that I honestly feel like he could be an injury or two away from retirement just at his age. If he hadn't, we've mentioned it a handful of times when we talk about him, but like back in 2013, he had that major injury that dropped him all the way down to some of the lower divisions. If he had something even close to that, I bet he'd be considering retirement. He's 31, which is, generally 30 is a cutoff where you might be on the decline now. I really want him to stick around, and I think he has the talent to, but I'm just going to be pessimistic again so I don't, have my heart broken. But I feel like he's a guy where the injuries are really piling up, and he's had a great career already. He wouldn't be leaving anything on the table. But
Yeah.
I guess
Maybe a couple more Yushos would be pretty good.
that would, yeah, I guess I'd take it. But no, I can't help but be a little pessimistic about Tochinoshin too. I really hope that he's, this recent shoulder injury isn't that big of a deal, but it just gives me bad vibes.
It's just one more thing.
Yeah.
God, we got to find somebody that I'm optimistic about.
Okay.
We'll go down the Bonsuke. We'll find somebody eventually.
You're optimistic about Takakeisho in the long run.
In the long run. Okay.
yeah.
Okay, that helps.
I'll be curious about the which 2 Ozeki you think are going to do well this tournament. Which actually, given the news, it might be pretty obvious. But I'll be curious if there's any dissenting opinions because I think the obvious 2 are now probably Goedo and Takayasu. Takayasu, I think he might be a little. There was news of him being a little bit sick, maybe coming in.
He was fatigued a
just
few
fatigue.
days ago. Yeah, it wasn't an injury. It was just some fatigue for Takayasu, but he has been back facing off against Sekitori in training. So he's back to full training. I just think he got fatigued per his Oyakata.
I bet he's fatigued a lot of days.
Yeah, but it was bad enough that they held him out of training in some inter-Heya trainings for a couple of days, but he's back to regular training, so we'll see. But
So, yeah.
I'm with you. I think Goedo and Takayasu, because as far as we know, they're the healthiest 2 Ozeki. And they've put together a streak of consecutive Kachikoshi over the past year or so. So I think they've proven, while not remarkable, they can manage a Kachikoshi.
Is there any reason to do Tochinoshin over Goedo?
Before this injury, yes. After this injury, no.
A hard no?
Not a hard
we
no.
don't know how severe this injury is.
Yeah,
I guess I still have a little hope that I think there's a possibility he might outperform Goedo.
I mean, there's always that hope that Goedo could Goedo. So,
Oh yeah, it's always there,
yeah.
unless it's Aki. In which case,
I think I
everything's
think
off the table.
yeah, exactly. when it's Aki, then Goedo shines and then goes back into his cave the rest of the year. No, but Tochinoshin, I think we don't really have a ton of news on this latest injury. I think we're all just kind of justifiably, assuming that it's probably going to be an issue. But yeah, I think we're primed for a situation, as has happened many times in the past, where a handful of the top guys are coming in with iffy health, leaving the door wide open for Goedo and Takayasu to get an 8 and 7, and just kind of meh their whole situation away.
Yeah.
See, that's why I'm not excited with either of them. 'Cause it's like, you are Ozeki. You should be setting the world on fire with these. But they're not. They're
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
disappointing.
And
Fire Mac.
I wouldn't be. That's the passion. I wouldn't be shocked if one of those 2 guys came out and had a pretty solid basho, just because we haven't had negative news about them. But there's also not really any reason going in to expect it. Expect one of them to have a huge breakout.
As we kind of went over in the review for the Natsu Basho, when I kind of went over the history of how poor of a streak the Ozeki are doing in this current stretch, Like they haven't. There's been no Ozeki that's won a Basho since Kisei no Sato in 2017. And if there was any time for an Ozeki to win a Yusho, it's right now when all the injuries are at the top. So Goeido and Takayasu really have no excuse. So if we were going to see it from them, we would have seen it at this point, in my opinion. Now, obviously, we could still see one of them win because anything can happen with these Bashos, it seems, recently. But I don't think you can bank on it or necessarily say they're one of the... they have to be one of the favorites because they're Ozeki, but no more so than Mitake Yumi at this point.
Compared to, do you favor Asanoyama than the Ozeki?
No.
You don't? Okay.
No.
So even though out of all the, out of everyone else, you still favor the Ozeki.
I think by process of
else.
elimination, we're all talking ourselves into a Kakuryu Yusho.
Except
I think we're working our way toward that.
We're almost there.
That's a logical progression.
Except I read somewhere that he might be having some back. He's talking about some back injuries. Or something.
He does have a lot of history with his back, doesn't he?
Yeah. So there's a possibility he. Once again, I don't exactly remember which the source is and how credible it is, but
Flair had a dream last night.
I had a dream,
a vision.
The tea leaves.
There was some talk about him possibly having a back injury. So I would say that he's not 100% in. I'd say there's a possibility he's not.
I haven't heard any news from my sources on Twitter, but that doesn't mean anything. So
I choose to believe Ryan.
we can continue saying that he's in 100%. Yeah. I agree. If he's
totally
in,
yeah.
All right.
If he's in, he's the guy that I personally have seen the least health news about. So that was the reason why I brought that up. But
yeah, it's true. It kind of is who's less injured. It kind of seems like this discussion.
Yeah. And we've never had that problem before on this podcast.
No.
Yeah.
All right, so it seems we're all very incredibly lukewarm on the Ozeki, but I do want to focus in on Tochinoshin for one more question. So his previous stint at Ozeki before he was demoted was 5 Basho. Are we thinking over or under 5 Basho for Tochinoshin as Ozeki in this current stint?
I got to go with under, and that hurts to say because I love the man, but no, given his age, given his injury proneness, I'm saying less than 5.
Yeah, I think 5 is a really good over-under. That's right around where I was thinking, somewhere around a year. But yeah, if I had to pick right now, my gut is saying under. Just one more injury on top of a guy that we know has a ton of them.
Yeah. There can't be 4 Ozeki for long. Someone has to go, either up or down, is what I'm thinking.
And it's probably not up.
Yeah,
it's probably Takakeisho.
Yeah. I agree with you. It's probably not up. I can see Takakeisho dropping down, if nothing other than just kind of injuries and biding his time. Under 5.
All right, I think I don't know. That's tough, just especially with this new injury. It just never seems like he can't
catch a break.
It on the injury luck on his side. I'm gonna go with over just to be a contrarian here.
Attaboy.
I don't have a whole lot of passion behind it. I want him to stay, obviously, because we're big Tochinoshin fans. So hopefully, but not a lot of faith. Or we'll see in time. We'll come back to this in a year and see who was right.
It's kind of similar to Hakuho, where it's it's a matter of when, as they kind of get older, and it's obviously all good things must come to an end. So.
Yep. We mentioned him briefly a couple of minutes ago, but Asanoyama is your defending Yusho winner. He was a Maegashira winner, so he was ranked Maegashira 8, went 12-3. A lot of controversy surrounding Asanoyama's victory here, but not really anything Asanoyama did, just things that happened around Asanoyama, mostly
the Shimpan.
Mostly Shimpan and Tochinoshin related. I do have some stats, so we're going to do a little bit of fun facts here in the middle of our main breakdown section. So these are stats about breaking the format. So these are some stats about Yusho winners who were Maegashira when they won the Yusho and how they did in the next Basho. So overall, there have been 30 Maegashira Yusho winners ever, but there have been 19 since the 6 Basho structure began in 1958.
And that's kind of 1958 with the 6 basho structure. Most modern records are in regards to that
Yes.
that point. Because basically since then, everything has been totally uniform.
Exactly. So the remaining stats that I say are going to be based on those 19 winners since 1958. So 5 of 6 Maegashira that were ranked lower than Asanoyama when they won the Yusho. So Asanoyama was Maegashira 8. So there was one that was even a Maegashira 14 that won a Yusho.
Yikes.
So 5 of 6 that were ranked lower than Asanoyama were in the Sanyaku ranks the next basho, whereas Asanoyama is Maegashira 1. He did not make the Komosubi rank. So I thought that was interesting that guys that were ranked even lower than Asanoyama won the Yusho, made it up to Komosubi when he did not. And obviously that's just going to depend on the circumstances of
Exactly.
that Bansuke. So it doesn't really mean a lot. I just thought it was interesting.
If you get someone on fire like Ryuden, you got to put Ryuden in the Sanyaku. Even though Asanoyama won the Yusho, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and Asanoyama beat Ryuden and a lot of other reasons.
Oh, yeah.
You can listen to more bitterness in the Bansuke review.
Exactly. There's plenty of that. Asanoyama is only the 3rd overall Rikishi to not be in the Sanyaku ranks after winning his Yusho. And so 8 of the 19 were ranked Sekiwake after winning the Yusho from the Maegashira rank, and then 8 were ranked Komosubi after winning the Yusho when they were a Maegashira. So Asanoyama, only the 3rd person since 1958 to not be in the Sanyaku ranks following a Yusho win. 12 of the 19 Rikishi that were Maegashira when they won a Yusho had a losing record the following basho. So that's a 63% rate of Rikishi that had a losing record following their Yusho win. So 4 of those losing records were Sekiwake. So 50% of Maegashira that made it up to Sekiwake had a losing record. 7 of those losing records were from the Komosubi rate. So maybe it's a good thing Asanoyama didn't make it to Komosubi, because that's a 88% rate of having a losing record in the following basho. And only 1 Maegashira had a losing record. 1 out of 2 Maegashira had a losing record when they were ranked Maegashira following their Yusho win. So just some stats about how Maegashira Yusho winners perform after their Yusho win. So maybe don't expect a whole lot out of Asanoyama. 63% of the time it results in a losing record.
Yeah, and I think it is important to note that where he's at Maegashira 1, he will be facing the exact same slate of guys that the Komosubi will. So it's really just a matter of prestige at that point.
Yeah.
Doesn't change my opinion that I think he's going to get a harsh reality check, but whether he was here or Komosubi or even Sekiwake, he would be facing the same guys and they would still beat him, I think.
Yeah, I think it's important to note that this is going to be the first basho for Asanoyama where he is in the Joy, or the top 16 ranked Rikishi, and those are all the guys you expect to face a Yokozuna. So he's never had to go up against this slate of Rikishi in his career. So how do you guys think he's going to do at the top of the Maegashira ranks going up against a full Sanyaku slate for the first time?
He beat Hakuho in the first practice match.
A lot of people think... I have heard rumors that Hakuho kind of maybe let him win or took it easy on him in the first match.
That doesn't sound like Hakuho.
And by people, do you mean Hakuho said that?
Nah, just people on Twitter, so who knows the
real story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think stats. Stats kind of paint a good picture of what's going to happen. Looking at the people he faced in the last basho, a lot of Maegashira 8, 10, 6, 5. Last 3 days he has Sekiwake, Ozeki, and then also Komosubi. Thank you. Yeah, he won 2 out of 3. So granted,
he kind of won 2 out of 3.
Yeah. Like once that, not counting that one, like
against Tochinoshi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one loss, one win.
Yeah.
1 loss, 1 win, 1 massive controversy.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of not conclusive of that. Yeah, you got to kind of say that he's probably not going to do well, but once again, my heart is kind of saying he might have a chance.
Let me put it this way. Is he going to have like a horrific basho, which is like going to say double-digit losses, or is he going to do better than that?
I am kind of putting my personal over-under at about 5 wins. I think that's probably...
And then are you over that
Really?
or under that?
I am taking the under on 5.5 wins.
So you're going 5 and 10?
That's my guess. Yeah, he did get a couple wins over decent competition last time, but Yeah, I think it's a reality check. We've also heard that people who win their first U show are at a disadvantage the next one because they have a ton of crap that they got to do extra other than training in between.
And Asanoyama definitely had to do a lot of press stuff.
Yeah, and he did recently get concussed in practice.
There is that.
There is that, too.
Can I revise to like 4 wins?
No, you're locked in.
Dang it. Oh, well.
It sounded like he was I will say, like, he was seeking out some training with Hakuho and other training. So it sounds like he is aware that, coming into a Basho after a U show, that you usually don't do too well. And it sounds like he was trying to get some really good quality training to do well. So I think that's kind of worth something.
He was also probably excited that Senpai noticed him finally.
Yes. he was graced with a slap to the face.
I have noticed
Boom,
you,
concussion.
and now you do not remember this encounter.
Yeah. This is entirely down to hopefulness. I think Kachikoshi 8 wins, I think, is probably where he's going to sit at.
Bold.
Yeah, because 12 wins at mid Banzuke is still relatively impressive. He was definitely showing a level of consistency against that level. Whether or not he can get that above it, we'll have to see. It'll be exciting.
I think he's in for a rude awakening. I think Hakuho's definitely coming back with a vengeance. Obviously, going to finish off the concussive blast that he has already given him, just a little love tap. I think Takakeisho is going to come out guns blazing. Same with Tochinoshin.
How much of a mind mess up would it be if he does a mata where he slaps him in the face on the tachi?
Good censorship, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
I was just going to say it'd be really cool. It would totally be a season finale of the anime if Asanoyama concusses Hakuho back
That would be amazing too.
on day 15 for the title.
I can't wait for that matchup. It has to be early too because he's in the meat grinder. Usually it's Mike Shiro 1 or 2. That
It'll be
face off.
day 1 through 3 that he faces off against Hakuho, probably.
Oh, I can't.
It's too
wait.
soon. It's too soon. They have to tie and get a tiebreaker match, and then it
Yeah.
will happen. But no, Asanoyama's not going to have a good match.
Playoff for the anime season finale.
Yeah,
Is he going to get 5 wins?
maybe potentially. I would say 5. I could go with 5.
Exactly 5.
I'm going to go in between Jake and Mac and then Fleric. I'm going with the 6
Me and
9.
Mac picked the same thing, though.
Yes, we did.
So yeah, between you two and Fleric.
I see. I couldn't interpret your commas properly.
Yeah. you just got to listen a little bit harder for those comments. They're in there.
That's me. That's me. My bad.
But no, I'm going to go with a 6 and 9, 7 and 8 for Asanoyama. I think there's too much meat at the top of the Banzuke.
Quite literally.
Yeah.
Yes, angry meat. Angry meat.
Well, I mean, then again,
Probably well marbled.
Komosubi is Abi and Ryuden, and they're about even with Asanoyama talent-wise, I would say.
Hey. Ryuden's pretty freaking good.
No. They said even.
I just said he's even with the last U-Show winner,
Okay.
Fleric.
Yeah, we'll see.
Is this sudden love
Stop.
for Ryuden just like
I've always loved Ryuden. At least I might not.
Go back to the first ever episode of the podcast, and Fleric was a stand for Ryuden the whole time. Pretty sure I'm using that lingo correct.
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm not really in with the kids, fam, but I think that's probably right.
Yeah.
No. I've always kind of seen Ryuden. He's another poster boy of a guy who got injured in middle career. He entered sumo at the same time as Chino Kuni and someone else I can't remember.
You had to say Chiono Kuni.
Yeah, I know it's very sad, but he's someone who broke his hip mid time, and he decided to rest for a very long time out of probably necessity.
Yeah.
And then he came all the way back up, So I love the guy, and I'm really happy that he's doing well.
I think this sudden love for Ryuden is kind of like last Basho. You suddenly despised Shodai.
I think I've just gotten better at
Hot garbage,
sharing.
I think, is how you define it.
Yeah, he's awful.
In the off month, you just pick one new passion.
I think I've had these slow passions the entire time.
I see, and they
think-
just bubble up to the surface.
I think they're
occasionally?
starting to bubble up into the surface.
This is what happened when Fleric gets fired up.
Oh yeah.
Just wait till we start
yeah.
getting to the bottom of the Banzuke. We start talking about Toyo Noshima, and then Fleric's like, "Oh, I love Toyo Noshima."
The guy's 36. Oh, so amazing.
Y'all are sleeping on Kageyaki. You don't even know.
No, I kind of interrupted you. You said that he's about kind of even to maybe one of the people in the
Yeah.
Sanyaku.
So I think Asanoyama's talent levels are about even with Abi and Ryuden, so we're not going to count those as automatic losses for Asanoyama. I think Mitakayumi, Tamawashi, they both beat Asanoyama last time. I think we can count those as losses for Asanoyama.
They're probably a tier above.
That's fair.
I think he can go 1-1 against Goedo Takayasu because he beat Goedo last time. Tochinoshin injured, he could take Tochinoshin. He's going to lose to Kakuryu and Hakuho. He's probably going to drop some to like Aoyama, Hokuto Fuji. So yeah, I'm going to stick with 6 and 9, 7 and 8. I talked myself into my initial conclusion.
Very good, Ryan.
Thank you. Yeah, well done. That's how you start arguments with a conclusion, and then you
Indeed.
and then you fill it in with premises.
I definitely agree. Like probably the stats and logic do not favor Asanoyama, but I think it would be one of the really cool storylines going in to see how he does.
But stats and logic don't measure up to Heart Fleric, and that's
No,
what
they
Asanoyama
don't.
has in spades.
I've made like 2 heart predictions. I think with Tochinoshin and Asanoyama.
Got to pump the brakes a little bit.
Yeah. Oh no.
No.
All right, let's jump around to some other guys on the Bansuke. Let's start with the Sekiwake, Mitakayumi and Tamawashi. Which Sekiwake do you guys think has a better shot of winning their second Yusho in Nagoya?
Neither of them.
Which Sekiwake do you think has the best shot of winning their second Yusho in Nagoya?
It will depend if Mitakayumi is hungry. I haven't really seen a lot of fire
Is
coming
that a
from
fat
him.
joke?
It could very well be a fat joke, yes. But not really in Mitakayumi's case because, again, I don't see a lot of passion in the way that he's been wrestling and the way that he's been performing. Tamawashi has the experience, so I would say between the two, Tamawashi would be my pick. But if Mitakayumi's hungry and he comes out with a head full of fire, I think he can do it.
Yeah, I think for me, I would go with Mitakayumi if I have to pick, just because I do think that I do think he's probably got a couple more Yusho in him in his career. He's also very young, shown a lot of promise, but it's just, when everything comes together, he's shown that he can win a Yusho.
Mm-hmm.
If a couple key guys get injured, if a couple things go his way, he can do it. Tamawashi, I still don't really believe that happened.
Yeah.
It's the experience,
I'm
man.
with
It's
you,
the
too.
experience.
Really?
Tamawashi? Him?
What can you say about Tamawashi? No, really, what can you say about Tamawashi?
I'm not sure.
He's old. Yeah.
He's apparently won a Yusho, you guys are telling me.
Yeah. He's the guy who historically said, he doesn't really want to be Nozeki. He just wants to be he's going for the long term, I think, is what he said.
He's not setting his goal to be Ozeki. He just wants to do good sumo for a long time.
Yeah,
He's got a long way to beat Ikioi, though.
Yeah. He definitely is for sustainable.
No, I
As far
think
as a streak.
for him.
Indeed.
I'm pretty sure he's really close to Ikioi.
Is he?
Yeah, because Tamawashi's 34 years old, and he's another Iron Man.
Oh.
So I'm pretty sure they're pretty close in consecutive matches.
I wouldn't call Ikioi an Iron Man. I would say a lot of tape, maybe some glue.
Yeah.
Whatever he's made out of, he hasn't missed a match yet,
Yeah.
which probably bad for him because he needs the rest. But
He's
Poor Ikioi.
he's not durable, but he's apparently easily reconstructable.
Yeah.
foolhardy.
Lots of spare parts.
Fleric, you were saying something.
Yes.
Probably on topic, too.
None of that.
You call my bluff because I'm trying to.
I
think
told
what I
you he
was
didn't
kinda
do his
saying-
homework.
Oh yeah. I just sit here and I just spew sumo.
All right. Well,
Sudden
since-
passions.
Yeah.
Well, Fleric is floundering over there.
Thank you.
I'll give my opinion. I think this is Mitakayumi for 2 reasons. One, Tamawashi is an every other basho kind of guy at this point, and he's on track for this being a down basho for him. And we're just 1 year removed from Mitakayumi taking the Yusho in Nagoya. And he started off hot at the Haru basho, looked really good, and then he got that knee injury. Hasn't quite been the same for the past 2 basho, maybe still recovering from that knee. So hopefully that knee's recovered. He's back at the site where he won it all before. It's not going to happen. But out of the 2 of them, it's
Wait.
Mitakayumi.
What if both Yokozuna do pull out?
If both
Because that kind of sets the stage of exactly what
Shimanumi.
happened. Of course. Oh, is this
Well, obviously,
From
but
the depths of the Magashira.
yeah? Is this someone you just absolutely love?
Shimanumi? No, I
Okay.
actually
I was
think-
wondering if you had another Ryuden.
I looked at the mid Bansuke and picked out the first name that jumped out to me. Because that's about as good of a guess at this point if all the Yokozuna pull out as anything else.
I will say, I now remember what the original question was. Mitake Yumi
Very good.
versus Tamawashi. So I definitely think Mitake Yumi, I rate him above Tamawashi.
Yeah.
And I almost kind of rate him along the same level as Ozeki.
I'm
That's
with
kind of
you
fair.
there as well. I think he's in the same tier as the Ozeki.
So same tier of talent, but not necessarily consistency.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll give you there. Like he kind of definitely, he hasn't racked up the consistency 3 Bashos in a row, but I think he can definitely pull out Ozeki level performance for a Basho.
I think he has yet to pull off 2 Basho in a row of that kind of performance.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he got his 9 and 6, so he's back up there to keep getting the 8 and 7s.
Yeah, but I have a feeling if the Yokozuna do pull out, like maybe he gets a little fire, like he says, it's my chance.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
And
Comes out
that's
if he's
when
hungry.
he might come back in.
I mean, that's what happened for him at Nagoya last time because there were no Yokozuna that participated when he won his Yusho. But let's move on to the last Sanyaku rank. That is Komosubi, where we have 2 guys that are making their Komosubi debut, and these are 2 guys that made their Makuuchi debut in the same Basho. That is Abi and Ryuden. So I think we all know what Fleric thinks, but who is going to have the better Basho at Komosubi?
I am going to pick against my heart and pick with my head here and pick Ryuden over Abi. I think because at this level, his versatility is going to come into play. Abi is a little bit more limited in his technique. He's still obviously very talented, but he's obviously a pusher thruster. You only have to watch one Abi match to know that that's his forte. Whereas Ryuden is more of a grappler. He's got more tricks in his bag, and I think that's going to come in more useful here in his Sanyaku debut against the top level of competition.
Keeping this quick, I agree with everything Jake just said.
See, I think
Right, you're
Abi's
right.
going to use that to his advantage. I think everybody's expecting him to continue with the really fast, really high-level pushing techniques. But then, as we've seen in the last couple Basho, he's got all his footwork down. He tries to smack him down with the takikomis. I think he's going to use that against his opponents.
That'd be interesting.
I
Obviously,
thoroughly disagree.
I am hopeful because I'm picking with my heart. I love Abi.
yeah,
We'll settle this with our fists after the podcast.
yeah. There is a rumor that he was touching a Mawashi during practice.
I heard that rumor.
Yeah. Let me see if it's more than.
Did he get burned?
Oh yeah. No. It's a new Abi. He declared. I decided to do some moves. I'm tired. I just want to rest.
Yes, very
yes.
encouraging.
Yeah.
Abi just jumped way up my favorite rankings.
Go, Abi, go.
So yeah. So apparently he tried to do something Migi Yotsu, which is I think right-handed.
Yeah.
Right hand
Migi
inside.
is right-handed,
Right-handed grappling kind of throwing. But apparently it really tired him out. So obviously I'm going to pick Ryuden. The last thing I want to say about Ryuden is he came into the Sanyaku I think at the beginning of 2018, and he said like his goal is to make Sanyaku in about a year, like the end of 2018.
He came into Makuuchi at
Thank you. Yeah, that's when he debuted in Makuuchi. And he said about a year he wanted to make Sanyaku, and he finally got there. It took him a year and a half, but
So what
and
a
he
failure.
recently got married as well.
he did.
Yes. Fleric is so happy
He's a
for him
glow
right now.
right now.
Oh, he's a handsome man.
All right, let's talk about another guy that is a very handsome boy and will make Fleric happy, and that's, of course, the wee baby Enho.
Sweet baby Enho.
Sweet baby.
Unfortunately, our sweet baby has injured his shoulder in practice.
He got a boo-boo.
Our baby got a boo-boo.
His Oyakata got to kiss it better.
And he'll fall down, go boom.
He had an MRI, and as far as I know, has been unable to do sumo since. But he said, quote, participating in Honbasho is the minimum requirement for a pro. So it sounds like Enho is going to try to participate.
He's
Keeping
learned-
this quick, what do we think about Enho? This
He's learned his
Basho?
basics. Our baby's learning.
That is like my least favorite thing to hear from a sumo wrestler. I have been horrifically maimed, but I will continue to do my best and wrestle and put myself in further danger. Despite being super young and having all the talent in the world and all this promise, I'm just going to go and let 400-pound guys fall on me.
Yeah.
Kisa no Sato has just become a trope. I mean, you keep comparing it to that. It's like, don't do it. If you're still injured, stay out, you fool.
Yeah, it's getting to the point where I hear stories about these. I hope they do bad. So it's more. It gives people more of an idea to actually just to not participate when they're injured.
Yeah.
So because of that, I'm going to hope, unfortunately, that either it's not that bad and he he's just maybe laying on, or that he just doesn't do too well and he pulls out.
All right, let's keep this next one to a one-word answer. We have 9 Rikshi that are at their career high this Basho. Which of those Rikshi do you have the highest expectations for and will have the best record?
I am going to immediately
One-word
break
answer.
your rules and say I am really high on Tomokaze. I think he is being brought up very slowly, and I think that's the way to do it. You don't want to get those 10 and 5s right when you start and get rocketed up to getting your ass kicked at the top of the division. I think his relatively slow ascent is going to be good for him.
Tomokaze.
Abi.
I'm also going with Tomokaze. All right, let's go to a little bit of a profile on somebody that is making his Makuuchi debut, and that is Taka Genji. He is debuting at Maegashira 10 West, which is the highest rank we've seen recently for a guy jumping up from Juryo to Makuuchi. He is only 22 years old. This is his 38th Basho, so he started when he was 15 years old.
Holy cow.
He has won just the one Yusho that he won in Juryo before. He hasn't won any Yusho in any lower divisions. And he's really just had a steady rise to Makuuchi. Nothing really flashy, no injuries that set him back. He was in Jonokuchi and then Jonidan. He struggled in Sandanme and Makushita for a little bit, just slowly rising up there. He hit Juryo once, dropped down to Makushita for a couple of Bashos, and then ever since he made it back to Juryo at the end of 2017, he's been a Sekitori and has slowly risen up the ranks to where he is now.
I think I read somewhere that he was the Tsukibito for Kakuyo for a part of a time. And that's I think that's one he was kind of in Makushita, and that's kind of when he really made the jump from Makushita to Juryo.
Yeah. He's also another guy that's in Chiganura stable now with Takakeisho, formerly with Takanohana. And Takagenji also has a twin brother in the same stable who happened to win the Makushita Yusho in the last Basho, so he'll be up in Juryo. So that's a little
many
bit about
twins.
Takagenji.
Yeah, so many twins in sumo.
Who are the other ones?
Maybe I'm going to think of a brother, the Waka brothers.
Oh, Waka Takakage, Wakamoto Haru, and Waka Takamoto?
Sure.
There's also
Actually, I think
Chiyomaru
that was
and Chio
correct.
Otori.
Yeah.
Oh, yep, that's correct. So yeah, maybe not necessarily twins, but yeah, there's plenty of brothers, and I think brothers all have to be in the same stable. Ooh, I
think you just made that up.
I think you
might
just made
have.
that up, too.
Sounds like a fun fact.
All right, let's talk a little bit more about some of the guys we are following in Juryo and below. So Mac, you seem to be all in on this guy. Get us hyped about Ryuko.
Well, how can you not get hyped about Ryuko?
I don't know anything about Ryuko.
That's how. Because that's what I was just going to say.
No, he's one. I think was it John Gunning that also it started off with one of our Q&A episodes where Jake and I had to pick a lower ranked guy to kind of follow and say, all right, this guy would be interesting to watch, and Ryuko was the one that I had chosen. Come to find out, John Gunning had also pegged him to be a good guy as well. So I've kind of been keeping tabs on him. He's about Takakeisho's size and about to his level of performance. He's still young, has been doing quite well in the lower ranks, and just now made his promotion up to Juryo. I think he's going to be definitely one to watch, especially if he keeps on doing the Oshitsumo that he's been favoring.
That will be fun to watch. One thing to keep in mind, though, is most of the time when somebody makes their Juryo debut, they get their ass kicked.
Also true, but I'm hopeful.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, not to say that they, if somebody who gets beaten once in Juryo can't come back, like we were just talking about with Takagenji. His first time in Juryo was terrible, but he made it back and made it through. So Ryuko, if being super young and making it to Juryo, I think it would be a great experience for him to get the crap kicked out of him one time and then work his way back up. That seems to be one of the ways that a lot of people make it through.
But he also squared off against Hoshoryu in the last match and beat him.
Something that I just noticed, and I'm actually kind of sad about this. Never really cared one way or the other about him too much, but I just noticed Chiyo no Kuni, due to his injury, is in Makushita for this spa show.
That's why I was sad when he brought him up. I was like, you had to say that.
He's down to Makushita 6, so he spent a basho in Juryo, obviously sat out again due to that injury, and this is a guy we haven't heard anything about, so hopefully he comes back soon, because he was pretty decent up in Makuuchi, could make it up to the zone of death every once in a while. So good luck to Chiyo no Kuni in his recovery. Some other guys at the top of Makushita. Makushita is going to be real fun this Basho, especially at the very top of the rankings and the very bottom of the rankings, because at Makushita 2 West, we have Hoshoryu, who is somebody we've been following for his whole career, who has never had a Makekoshi, and so
He's been rocketing up the rankings.
rocketing up the rankings right alongside Naya, who is at Makushita 6 West. They both debuted at the same time. They both have lineages in sumo wrestling. So those are two guys that are very hot prospects that are at the cusp of being promoted to Juryo.
These are if I had to pick right now, what's the next big rivalry? That would totally be it, because those guys have definitely shown that they're definitely going to get up into the top division, and I could see them facing off with the history they have together and the history of their own families. That would be an awesome rivalry to follow.
Yeah, they start off in Mizumo at the exact same time.
Yeah, kind of following the Takakeisho Onosho rivalry that has kind of cooled off recently because they're at different ranks, but those two grew up together and were in school together all through their lives.
Yep. And then at the bottom of the Makushita rankings, we have Shiraishi at Makushita 55 West. This is the guy who won the Sandanme Yusho in his first career Basho, as he got the Sandanme Tsukedashi, where he got to debut in Sandanme, and he went 7-0, won the Yusho. So he is up to Makushita in just his second career Basho.
Nice.
So it must be a college Rikishi.
Yes. Yep.
Nice.
There's also Roga, who is Makushita 57 West. Had a bit of a backslide last time, going 5-2, but he won. he started his career 14-0, and so he's in Makushita in just his fourth career Basho.
And I'm sorry, I may be mixing up Ryuko and Roga, but Roga, we're just following him because he had such a hot start. Is
Yes.
that right?
Right.
That's
Yes.
where we heard of him.
Yep. And also, Teruno Fuji, the former Ozeki, is up to Makushita 59 East. So we'll see if he's looking any better. This is kind of getting to the part of the Bansuke. Maybe he has to get to upper Makushita ranks for it to happen, but where if he's still injured and not full strength, maybe these guys can start giving him a little bit of a test. Whereas where you're going up against Sandanme guys, they're really not going to test you at all.
Yeah, he lost the playoff for the Yusha, right?
That was 2 Bashas ago where he lost to Roga in the playoff. Last time he went 6-1, I believe.
In Ryoga, we don't know exactly where his skill lies yet.
It looks pretty promising for him.
It looks like it's somewhere higher in the Bansuke.
Yes.
So, okay.
And then the Americans in sumo that we are following are both in Sandanme this Basho. We have Musashi Kuni, who is at Sandanme 4 East, and we have Waka Ichiro back in Sandanme at 85 East. So let's move on to a couple of notes on news. Somebody added in a note about a seminar at the Koguki-Con and doping, and a Chris Gould video on 622.
Well, I mean, I could have just taken over for you when you introduced it, but no. Check out
Good bus driving, Ryan.
check out the video that Chris Gould added on 622 to his YouTube channel. I thought this was kind of interesting. There was a seminar at the Kokugi-Con for all the wrestlers, including the issue of doping, which is always kind of like it's something that we hear a lot about in American sports, but is kind of ignored, maybe swept under the rug a little bit in sumo. We're not really sure.
Doping as in steroids, or doping as just like drugs in general?
Everybody's just getting stoned all the time. No, I'm kidding. Doping as in steroids.
Gotcha.
I just thought it was an interesting thing because doping is an issue that is not discussed often in sumo, and there's kind of the hush-hush idea that probably a lot of guys are using steroids.
That's the general consensus on Reddit, is that everybody's doing it. It's just kind of
people who don't know anything.
Yeah, true.
I will say the Chris Gould videos are just fantastic content.
Oh,
They
yeah.
are.
He's been putting up a lot more of those recently, and they're great, 5 to 10 minute videos just on a quick topic.
Yeah, I highly recommend checking out more of those.
Definitely. Some news about Onamatsu Oyakata. If you don't know who he is right off the top of your head, he is the head Shinpan who flubbed a couple of Mono-E verdicts.
And flubbed he did.
There was one where I'm pretty sure he just completely said the wrong guy won. But he is going to be out on sick leave for Nagoya due to high blood pressure.
Because he, flubbed a couple calls.
Yeah, there's some thoughts that it might necessarily not just be because of high blood pressure, but the stand-in for the head Shinpan will be Sakaigawa Oyakata. So we will see how he does as the head Shimpan and announcing those Mono-E verdicts. Also, Hakuho's request to renounce his Mongolian citizenship has been approved by the president of Mongolia, which is one more step complete in his goal to become an Oyakata after he retires. So with that, we will take a quick break. And just a note, if you're hearing some faint firework sounding sounds in the background, it's because there's fireworks.
Yeah, I kind of hate my neighborhood, and it's July 3rd here in America, so
They
it's probably July 3rd everywhere.
Yeah,
But
they probably
Well, yeah.
won't be picked up on the audio, but just in case you do hear them,
it's sure annoying me.
that's what's going on. So we'll take a quick break and be right back.
Howdy, travelers. Scotty Karate here, introducing a new way to plan your next Japan vacation on a budget. Scotty Karate's Affordable Miles is a travel agency recommended by 1 out of 1 English-language sumo wrestling podcasts that we surveyed. We here at SKAM help you find the best hotels, trains, attractions, and sumo tickets to match your pathetic lack of disposable income. And we don't keep your money unless you're completely satisfied. No, sir, not us scammers.
Hi, this is insert name from the Grand Sumo
Mac.
From the Grand Sumo Breakdown podcast. Last time I was in Japan, Scotty Karate's Affordable Miles helped me get to Japan. Eventually. Just me. Not my luggage. Hey, you guys validate, right?
Scotty Karate's Affordable Miles will get you there and probably back. Call 805-613-SUMO. That's 805-613-7866.
Welcome back. It is time for the Grand Sumo Breakdown Prediction Series. A quick recap of what happened last time is Fleric lost big time. I won big time. So that means Fleric gets the first pick in our prediction series. So
Dang straight.
our first pick will be for who we think is going to win the U-Show.
Real quick note, I think we all won because we got to hear Fleric's story.
Sumo Erotica.
His sumo erotica that he wrote for us.
It was sensual.
That was a lot of fun.
Jake's was sensual, I can tell you.
They were both sensual. They were both sensual.
It was a fun time writing about some of my two favorite rickshaw.
All right.
But I don't want to lose again. That was way too much work.
So without further ado, Fleric, who's going to win the U-Show?
We're getting right into the picks. Should we explain this at all? The rules and such?
We pick in 6 different categories: the U-Show, June U-Show, special prize winner, who we think will get a Kinboshi and who we think they will beat, Rikishi that we will choose that is to get a Kachikoshi that is ranked M9 or below, and a Rikishi that we think will get a Makekoshi that is ranked M8 or above.
Yeah. These are categories assigned 1 point each, and the person who gets the most points wins, and the person who loses has to do a punishment we have in a bowl that we're going to draw from after the picking.
The Grand Sumo Breakdown trademarked bowl of punishments.
Indeed. That being said, the first pick is who won the U-Show, and I'm going to have to say Hakuho is looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Seems decent.
That sounds about right.
Breaking news, Hakuho not participating.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Kakuryu with the second pick.
All right, Mac.
I'm going to take a leap of faith here and go Mitaki Yumi.
Dang it. That was going to be my surprise pick.
So that's
Drama reduced.
that is saying that of all the Ozeki, you still think Mitaki Yumi is going to do better.
Yes.
Okay, so that leaves me with choosing a Ozeki or a Maegashira.
You may not be wrong with a Magashira choice here.
What dark times we've come.
Yeah.
We're basically conspiring to get Ryan eventually to pick Goedo to win the U-Show.
Yeah.
I mean, I did it last time.
Yeah, that's true. That was kind of awesome.
So that was
I forgot about
stupid.
that.
So it's not going to happen, but I'm just going to go Takayasu because it's the safest pick.
Yeah, it is smart.
I could just say
Good pick, Ryan.
I could be like, oh, Ichinojo, he's outside of the Joy this time. Last time that happened, he went 14-1. So hey, why not that happen again? But it's Ichinojo. So.
Yeah. Who's going to get Junior Show?
Oh,
Yeah, we're doing a snake draft, so we're going in reverse order for the next pick.
yeah. So I'll just go with Hakuho. I'll go the easy route.
I'll continue on that easy route. Kakuryu.
I'll take the classic Junyu show. Well, it's not really classic. It's been a little while. I'll go Takayasu.
All right. I'm going to go Goedo. To bring it up to rear.
Go Gadget, go Edo.
Mm-hmm. All right. Fleric, it is your turn to select who you think will win a special prize.
I'm going to go with actually I do got to change it. I am going to go Reedon. I'm going to once again go my heart. I love this guy. It's going to be really tough to stay there, but I have faith that he might be able to do something
Well, here's hoping for your sake.
I'm going to go out on a limb because it happens not regularly, but it happens often enough that I think Taka Genji making his Makuuchi debut, he seems to have turned a corner recently getting that 13-2 Yusho. So if he can get like 10 wins, that's generally the cutoff for a debut wrestler to get a special prize. I think he can do it.
I'm going with the slow riser that Jake mentioned earlier, Tomokaze.
That was going to be my pick. So I'm going to go against everything that I said earlier in the Basho.
Again.
Or earlier in the episode.
And go with Goedo.
Goedo. Now we all know Ozeki can't win special prizes. I'm going to go...
Shimanoumi again?
No, I'm actually going to go with Mitake Yumi, as I was about ready to pick him for the U show.
He was my top pick until I realized how much I talked up Ryuden.
All right.
Smart pick.
So it is my turn to select Kimboshi and who they beat. Luckily, I get the first pick here, so I get to go with the good old Ryan special, Hokuto Fuji over Kakuryu.
That is the Ryan special, isn't it?
All right, and that is Mac.
I am going to go with Endo v. Kakuryu.
All right.
I'm going to look Fleric dead in the eyes while I say this. Shodai over Kakuryu.
All right, it's fine. Go ahead and throw away your points.
That's me picking
happy
with the
here.
opposite of my heart. That's me picking with my spite.
Behold the dumpster fire that is Shodai.
Picking Fleric's least favorite to beat one of his favorites.
He's just so bad.
He went 10-5 last time.
Just garbage. I don't know. All right, I'm going to go with spicy drama, Asanoyama over Hakuho.
Ooh, that is spicy.
That is a spicy pick.
He's going to get the reverse concussion against Yokozuna. The big hawk, as we say.
Quite
Wait,
bold.
reverse
Quite
concussion.
bold.
So is he going to knock out Hakuho, or are you saying he's going to unconcuss himself?
Both.
His concussion is going to concuss Hakuho.
No.
Let's move on. Fleric, who do you think ranked M9 or below will get a Kachikoshi?
It's got to be Yago.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
Who else?
I kind of wanted to pick Yago. I'm going to pick Koto Waco, who is at a career high, and he only got an 8-7, but he did impress me with his sumo in the last Basho.
All right.
I'm surprised at you, Jake. I can't believe he actually fell
I
to
am
me.
too.
I am going with Kaisei.
You son of a biscuit. That leaves me with
The
a group
picture of consistency.
Right.
people that I'm not really sure about.
Pick Nishikigi.
No. Yoshikaze. He's a guy that bounces back and forth. And so,
Quite literally between some Rikshi.
yeah. So I'll go with Yoshikaze. And that means it is my choice for Makekoshi with somebody that is ranked M8 or above.
You going to take the freebie?
Shodai?
No, not quite.
You have Fleric's attention.
Come to my ways of thinking. Welcome.
No, Daisho.
Oh.
I believe it Shodai a little bit more than Daisho.
Interesting. I have some faith in Daisho.
I'm
shall
going
see.
to go with Asanoyama.
Ooh.
I didn't think he would even fall to second pick,
I mean,
but I was
Daisho-
hoping he could fall to me.
Daisho and Asanoyama have to go up against the same competition in this
Yeah.
Basho.
Yeah, we just think, me and Mac just
You-
think that
you think-
Asanoyama will do worse.
You think Daisho is going to do better than Asanoyama?
There are stats against Asanoyama. I will
Daisho
say
was
that.
at
Plus the
Nagashira.
concussion. Hello.
That
Daisho
was
isn't.
like a week or so ago, and I don't know how concussions
What are
work.
these-
But he's
Oh,
like,
They suck.
fine.
Trust me, they suck.
Yeah, I know they suck.
Anyway, continuing on.
Sorry.
My pick. I'm gonna say I don't think Abi is going to make Komusubi stick.
All right, I'm gonna look Jake straight in the eye and say what everyone probably thinks.
And
of.
pick somebody who he thinks I like.
No, I'm gonna say Shodai.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, the person I don't like. But yeah, we are.
Seems
It's a solid
I think
pick.
probably the fate of our how we do in this prediction series is gonna come down to how Shodai does.
All right, so that wraps up our picks for how we think everybody will do, which means it is time for our loser of the previous Basho to select a punishment from the Bowl O Punishments.
The reigning worst host at picking things, Fleric.
All right, Fleric.
You say it so. I feel so bad when you say it that way.
Well, you did get 0 points last time.
Yeah, I think you.
If this prediction series has taught me anything, it's that Fleric and I will soon come to blows over this Basho.
All right, I picked something. All right, we have the punishment for the Nagoya Basho of 2019 is the loser must sing a verse and chorus of a song of the winner's choice, but changed the lyrics to sumo.
I know this punishment.
Yes,
This was one of the very first ones
This
we
was
did.
my very first punishment.
where Mac had to sing a song called Yusho Race in the style of Poker Face by Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga.
Go back to our very first review episode. Was it a review of Aki 2017?
I don't think it was our
It wasn't
very first
Aki.
one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
It was.
Oh, yeah,
I think it
'cause
was
you had to do,
Kyushu 2017.
Yeah, well, I can bring
Kyushu
it
sounds
up.
pretty cool.
It was one of the ones in 2017 that wasn't Aki, therefore it was Kyushu.
I was about to say, well, by process of elimination,
My
Ryan.
God.
All right,
Good job, Ryan.
enough of us fumbling around
The
with
deduction
dates
skills.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Let's move on to talk about.
Yeah, I do know I do not want to win this one.
You-
But also, do you want to tell people to send their predictions as well?
Well, yeah, people can send their predictions. We posted our bold predictions thread on Twitter. We've gotten plenty of responses to that. If you want to add your bold predictions to that as well, we would welcome your input.
I want to
Or
see.
if you have ideas for the song.
I want to
Yes.
see. Yeah, I want to see people's thoughts about Shodai. I kind of want to see where they lie.
I will make a special Twitter post just for you, Flaric, and get people's thoughts about Shodai.
Just to see if anyone outside this room has strong opinions on Shodai.
The hot garbage that is Shodai.
Flaric, who absolutely hates him, and me, who pretends to think he's okay just to get under Flaric's skin.
All right. We had a little bit of preview of this section before, but it is time for a full-fledged fun facts section.
Okay, so these are official fun facts now?
Official fun facts, starting
Okay.
with Jake.
If the name Onishiki brings up any memories, they're probably confusing ones because there were two Yokozuna named Onishiki at the same time.
Well, that's confusing.
That is confusing.
Which Onishiki was it?
Yep. So this is in the 20s. This is actually before Tokyo and Osaka sumo became one league as we know them today. This was in 1926. Like the two biggest individual companies that did sumo wrestling organization joined together, and since then it's just been one thing. But for a while before that, those fireworks are going to just drive me.
Lord.
Oh my god, I need to sleep at some point tonight. But the Osaka and Tokyo had separate leagues that were basically just competing. Like the NFL and the XFL were on equal footing of competition, right?
No, the NFL and the AFL back in the late 60s.
I know what I'm
70s.
talking about here, Ryan. Keep it down. Osaka sumo was generally considered the less prestigious. Is that your understanding too, Flair?
Yep.
But regardless of prestige, they both had systems for creating yokozuna. For giving out the belt and the special entrance ceremony to the top wrestlers. And in the early 20s, at the exact same time, they both had a yokozuna onishiki. On the official list of yokozuna, they are the 26th and the 28th overall. Both were retired by the time that the leagues joined, but I thought that was very confusing while I was trying to look through the list of yokozuna.
So they never faced off against each other.
I don't believe so.
That would have been a great pay-per-view. Onishiki versus Onishiki.
It'd be like that Spider-Man meme. They're just pointing at each other. And thus concludes that fun fact with an awkward pause.
Excellent transition.
Just like we came into it.
Excellent transition.
And thus begins my fun fact, or should we say fun facts, or should we say fun quiz? It's quiz time, boys and girls.
Oh, no.
God dang it.
As we are, all four of us are about to embark on a flight to Japan, I thought, why not have a quick quiz about airline travel? So
Because it's dumb, that's why not.
well, too bad. Here it comes. So, question for all of you. I need you to give me your closest guess. None of this without going over. Just whoever's closest will win the point. How many airplanes are in the air at any one time in the United States? Mac, put Google away.
No. You didn't say I couldn't use Google.
Mac, you can't use Google.
There we go. Now we've said it.
All right, I will repeat the question again. How many airplanes are in the air at any one time in the United States?
United States?
Yes.
800, Flair?
And all of you take a guess.
And I was
No,
gonna
8.
Oh, 8.
700,000.
Flair goes with 700,000.
I'll go with 8.
Are we going to price this right rules?
No.
I'll bid $1. No, I'm going to go with 300.
Mac is closest. It is 7,000 airplanes are in the air.
Oh, I was
any
only
one
considering
time.
giant commercial airliners. I wasn't thinking the small ones.
Oh, yeah, I misunderstood the question, too.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
These are rigged. These are rigged.
So pretty much we all
Mac,
won.
you got the point.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right. It's rigged for me.
All right.
You get one Ryan buck.
Worth nothing.
So, more than 1 million people fly the busiest domestic air route every month. Which route is it? Is it San Francisco to Los Angeles in the United States? Is it Atlanta to Dallas in the United States? Is it Hong Kong to Beijing in China? Or is it Tokyo to Sapporo in Japan?
The Japan one.
Beijing to Hong Kong.
Beijing to Hong Kong.
We get one Ryan buck to Jake. Woo!
Ah.
Over
I'm
1
going to trade it
million-
in at the Ryan store.
Every 1 million people fly the Tokyo to Sapporo route in Japan every month.
Wow.
All right, we got a couple of quick true false.
That's
True or
got to be a gigantic plane.
No kidding. We got him to fake. That was good. That was good.
All right, true or
That look made it all worthwhile.
Exactly. That's why I was like, it worked. It worked.
Sorry, Ryan, continue.
True or false? The average flight travels at 25,000 feet, or about 5 miles in the air.
I think that's true.
Yeah, I'm
Give
going
or
to go true.
I expect
False.
high things from the aerospace engineers here.
I was
Yeah,
going
but-
to say false. That's
I think
so
it also.
Flair says false.
Now, are we talking general commercial,
This is
passenger, cargo?
we're commercial.
Okay, now how much cargo?
Commercial flights, Mac.
No. What kind of
Are
commercial?
we talking
flights?
Airbus? Are we talking
8.
Boeing?
Exactly. What are we going for here?
So Jake said true.
8 luggage.
Flerick said
8
false.
cargo.
I'm going with true.
And Mac is being
Mac
difficult.
says true. The aerospace engineers are wrong. It is false. It is
Yeah.
35,000 feet is the average flight height. True or false? The average flight travels at 550 miles per hour or 885 kilometers per hour.
Is this one of those where it's going to be false because it's actually like 560 miles an hour or
it
some
could be.
BS like the last stupid question?
Again, what are we talking about for planes? Are we
Why
talking
did we
about
let
small
Ryan-
Cessnas? Are we
Commercial.
talking about- Now, what kind
Commercial
of,
flights.
What kind of commercial
Oh my
flights?
God, just
True.
say true or false.
False.
True.
True.
All right, it is true. 550 miles per hour. You guys are making this way too hard.
We're at the end of the episode. We're getting
We're
cranky.
aerospace engineers, man. You don't know.
True or false? The average outside temperature
True.
of a flight is negative 30
False.
degrees Fahrenheit or negative 34 degrees Celsius.
I already said false.
Fleck says false?
I already said true.
True.
Did I say false? I don't know.
No, you said true. Flerk is killing the true false because
Yeah.
it is false. The average temperature outside a flight is negative 65 degrees Fahrenheit.
It's even
chilly.
colder. Holy cow.
All right, this one is going to be scary for us. How many bags were mishandled worldwide in 2013?
Don't you put that evil on us.
No.
8.
I'm actually going to trade Fleric's answer for the first one. 700,000.
Okay.
Oh, I'm going to go with 15,000.
Think that makes Mac the closest. Well, no. Actually, it makes Jake the closest
Oh,
because
Lord.
it's 21,800,000
What?
or about 7 per 1,000
Are there even
passengers.
that many people in the world?
I mean, 1 million fly one route per month.
So, yes.
So I'm not hearing a no.
But yeah, so 7 people out of every 1,000 passengers will have their bags mishandled.
Wow.
And finally,
And those 7 people are the 7 of us who are going to Japan.
how much profit did U.S. Airlines make in 2013 off of baggage fees alone?
Literally all the money.
How much is all the money?
$1 billion.
All right, Jake is going way too high.
8 million.
8 million?
$1.
Go higher.
Okay.
It's a net
no,
loss.
seriously. I'll say 50 million.
$3.35 billion
Billion?
off of baggage fees alone.
So I was closest.
No, you said 1 billion billion.
I was closest.
Mac was closest.
Are we talking log scale, maybe? That
All
might
right.
help me.
All right, now hang on. We need to go through this.
As always, you guys ruin everything that I try to do.
No, I had fun.
That was great.
So either Mac or Flerick won. I don't remember.
We tied, actually. Flerick and I tied with 3.
All right,
Yay.
Jake, you should be ashamed of yourself. You lost to Flerick.
Yeah. Go write a song.
Yeah, now you have to write a song and sing it.
Can I write more sumo erotica instead?
Yes.
Feel
make
free.
it sensual.
As long as it's sensual.
All right, let's move on to fantasy. We had a fantasy contest to see who would join us for Fantasy Sumo, and that was to give us your best or worst advice for traveling to Japan. And the winner was at Sunlan Satori, whose best advice was to buy a Suica card for conveniently traveling around and buying food and drink from 7-Elevens, which are apparently very big thing in Japan, the 7-Elevens.
Yeah, I heard that's going to be a lot better than just trying to use our U.S. bank cards or credit cards or anything like that.
As long as they have cherry ices, I don't care.
And what really won him the contest was his worst advice, which is randomly press buttons on the incomprehensible control panel next to the toilet while sitting down.
Oh, no.
Isn't that what you're supposed to do?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's what we're going to do. He told us to.
Yes.
We couldn't let down a fan.
And especially for Fleric, he also offered some other best advice. Popeye Beer Club, 3-minute walk from Ryogoku Kokugikan.
I will check that out.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
My favorite part of that
I
was
like
Ryan
beer.
almost nailing Ryogoku Kokugikan.
I got close enough for my caring. I nailed it about as hard as I nailed that.
I hope it's actual like Popeyes from the America franchise, but they just
Like a
have
real
beer.
a real Popeyes, just with we sell beer instead of chicken.
All right. What is everybody most excited for in this upcoming Basho?
Going there.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that'll be pretty good. I guess of the actual matches there, I've kind of talked myself up on Asanoyama. I want to see him against Hakuyo and see how that goes.
The ringside food.
Ooh, that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
See what kind of selection they have there in Nagoya.
And
Probably fish.
And since we're probably going to be there earlier than most of the crowd, we can just buy everything.
That was my
Yes.
plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're also going to steal seats far closer than we should be allowed because apparently that's tradition.
Can we go down to the splash zone?
Because, yes.
Yes, we're going to the splash zone.
People who buy the expensive tickets usually don't show up until Juryo, so for the first 4 divisions, we can just hang out up front, I've heard.
We've got to cheer on Zakura. We've got to cheer our little samurai on.
I wonder if it's a faux pas to throw cushions during Jionakuchi.
It could be.
There's only one way to find out, and it sure isn't listening to other people tell us no.
If Hattori Zakura is the one who wins,
Yes,
man.
we're going to go nuts.
If anything's like a cushion throwing like moment, that is one moment right there.
Indeed.
I will say if any of you guys throw a pillow that is not somebody beating a Yokozuna, I will not know you so hard you don't even know.
That's going to be really hard to pull off when we're wearing matching shirts.
Yeah.
Also true.
I will rip my shirt off. I'll get thrown out for a completely different reason.
And into jail.
So yeah, I think that counts
Shirtlessness
for,
is punishable by prison, yeah.
Indeed.
yeah, I think that counts for what is everyone most excited for my thing.
Close
so,
enough.
So that's everything for our preview edition. The Basho is going to be starting on July 7th, this upcoming Sunday. And if you enjoyed this podcast, you can leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast listening service.
You can find us on social media. I see Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. Grand Sumo Breakdown.
Boom.
GrandSumoBreakdown.com is our blog, and we will have a fantasy and power rankings article up before the Basho starts.
If you have any questions, comments, or corrections, drop us a line at grandsumobreakdown@gmail.com or give us a call at 805-613-7866. That's 805-613-SUMO.
And thank you, Mac, for reminding me. I actually do have a correction from the Bonsuke review episode.
Oh,
There's
really?
a little bit of a mix-up with how I had ranked Onosho and Okinoumi.
Oh, no.
Where
Shameful.
I thought I had correctly predicted them. Onosho at Maegashira 8 East and Okinoumi as Maegashira 8 West, which would have been perfect predictions had I predicted it. It was pointed out to me by somebody from the Tachi blog team that when I posted my Bonsuke, I actually did have those guys flipped when I thought I got that correct. So
Nothing gets by those guys.
I did
fool.
not get 10 straight perfect predictions, unfortunately.
Hey, you know what? The night is young. Let's redo that episode.
No.
Oh, all right.
Also,
Oh, wow. He turned down a chance to appear right.
no, I'm also going to take the rest of this time at the very end of the episode, so it doesn't matter if people listen anymore, so you guys shouldn't get too mad at me. Fleric, please don't mute me.
What? No, I'm not doing anything. Don't worry about it.
I would like to point out that we were featured in a Wall Street Journal article a few weeks ago. They contacted us to talk about fantasy sumo as part of a larger article talking about just odd fantasy sports, and we were lucky enough to be contacted by them. And I say we, I mean me. I was the only named guy in that article. As far as you know, this is Grand Sumo Breakdown featuring Ryan and some 3 scrubs.
Fleric, get that mute button right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
It's
They're not
also-
going to want to hear him scream.
Also, Jake Mack and I, or was it just Jake and I, appeared on another podcast, the More Than 4 podcast.
There were 3 of us. Was that you,
Was
Mac, or you, Fleric?
It was not me. I know that much.
No, it was us.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Jake Mack and I, we appeared on that podcast. Also, I would like to point out so far in the prediction series, I've won 2 out of 3 this year, and the fantasy series, I've won 2 in
seriously,
a row.
Mute him
Hit the
now.
2
music.
out of 3. Thank you for listening to Grand Sumo Breakdown.
Until next time.
Throw your salt high.
And keep moving forward.